Hey guys, and welcome to the Crafting Bro Studios 2020 New Year's Special. Now, obviously this is quite different from what we normally do here on the channel, but seeing as the most horrible year in history is coming to a close, we thought, yeah, we're going to do a big end-of-year video for you guys. So, this video serves a few purposes. One, I want to talk about the future of the channel, and also I'm going to show off some new videos that we've been working on for a bit now. So, here's what we've got planned for the New Year's special. We've got a Doctor Who Top 10 video and two Marvel videos, one of which will be focused on the Hawkeye Disney Plus show. And also we'll have news on some exciting projects coming up, that being animation projects. So stay tuned, and I hope you really enjoy the New Year's special. Okay, so let's start off with our first topic, Hawkeye. You know him, I know him, we all know who Hawkeye is. And recently we got the official confirmation that Hawkeye's going to get a Disney Plus show. There were rumours of a Hawkeye movie, but those have obviously been debunked. Anyway, we've got a Hawkeye video today, edited of course by our very talented editor Amzo, and yeah, let's just get straight to it. So the Hawkeye Disney Plus series has been gaining quite a bit of traction recently due to some recent news and set photos that in this video I will be talking about more in depth. So the first big piece of news that we know is that Hailee Steinfeld, who you may know as Gwen Stacy from Into the Spider-Verse, has officially been confirmed to be playing Kate Bishop. We knew since Comic-Con last year that Kate Bishop would be a big part of the series, and around early 2020-ish it was rumoured that Steinfeld was going to play Kate Bishop, and that is definitely good casting. Anyway, the set photos leaked on the internet have confirmed quite a few things. Firstly, that Steinfeld is playing Kate Bishop, and that the series will take place in 2025. Now, this is going to present a bit of timeline confusion, but I'll explain it here. So, the Falcon and Winter Soldier series is rumored to take place at least in later 2023. Then Spider-Man Far From Home is set at least in 2024, 8 months after Endgame. And the Hawkeye series is set in 2025. We don't actually know the placement of all this now, but I will be sure to do an updated timeline video about it. Anyway, whether the events of Spider-Man 3 will be referenced, I do kind of find unlikely. Because from the news we've been getting about it, all the Spider-Verse stuff and whatnot, it does seem like a more cosmic movie to me, and I think it may focus on Spider-Man and Doctor Strange jumping through different universes to find different spider people. I hope you're still with me on this. A really exciting part about the series, at least for the hardcore comic fans, is that the series may be drawing some inspiration from a popular comic run. So if you guys know Matt Fraction, he's a really popular comic writer, and he wrote the Hawkeye story My Life as a Weapon, and that story is important for the reason that Hawkeye becomes deaf, and in comic continuity, it's the second time he became deaf. In some earlier Marvel comics, Hawkeye had to defeat a villain with a sonic arrowhead, which came at the cost of him damaging his hearing. Anyway, moving on to a bit of casting news now. It was also recently confirmed that Florence Pugh, aka Yelena Belova from the upcoming Black Widow film, will be reprising her role in the series, which basically confirms that she is going to survive the events of that film. And this also kind of debunks a fan theory that some people have actually had about Black Widow, that she and Yelena Belova swapped identities and swapped faces or whatever, and that the two have actually taken each other's places. So Natasha was doing whatever Yelena was doing, and Yelena was doing whatever Natasha was doing, meaning she sacrificed herself instead of Natasha. And that theory has been debunked since Yelena is going to appear in Black Widow. Or it could still be confirmed, we never know. If this ends up being debunked, whatever role she ends up playing, we won't know, but I think we could see some kind of bond form between the two, since both Yelena and Hawkeye were particularly close with Natasha. Also, we know from recent news that characters such as Swordsman Clown, Eleanor Bishop, Echo, and Lucky the Pizza Dog will also be appearing in the series. To the best of my understanding, Echo is actually a deaf character in the Marvel comics, and she will most likely be helping Hawkeye through his ordeal, since he's probably become deaf now. And some set photos have actually given us a close-up on Hawkeye with some hearing aids, which is pretty interesting. One thing I'm also wondering about the series is whether this will be the last we see of Clint Barton, or at least the last last we'll see of Renner in the role. Well, I think this will be the last of him as Hawkeye. I don't think Renner will be retiring from the MCU altogether. I kind of see Clint Barton's future in the MCU similar to that of, like, a dynamic duo, if you will. Not like Batman and Robin per se, but sort of like Peter and Miles in the Spider-Man games. Sure, Peter is still there, and he is still active as Spider-Man, but he's tutoring Miles to become his successor, so should anything ever happen to Peter, then Miles can take over. And I think that's the kind of dynamic we're going to have with Clint and Kate in the new series, with Kate being the newer hero and Clint being the more mentor figure. In terms of end credits teasers, I don't think we'll see an awful lot, and I do think we should see some indication of the Fox Marvel characters in the MCU. I mean, I do think, because the deal has obviously gone through now, I mean, it's been like over a year now, we really need some indication that some of the Fox Marvel characters exist. I mean, really, we should get some indication of maybe the X-Men, because a lot of people have looked forward to that for quite a long time. Or maybe we could get some indication of a different corner of the Fox Marvel universe. Maybe even Deadpool shows up. As long as it leaves us with some indication that yes, they exist in this universe, then I'm fine with that. Anyway, those are my thoughts on the Hawkeye Disney Plus series. What do you think about the news we've gotten so far? Well, I don't know about you, but I'm excited for the show. I mean, there's going to be a lot of interesting characters and interesting aspects to the story that we're going to see in this. Okay, let's move on to our animation stuff. So, as most of you know, in the past year we released 2 separate animated series, that being Batman Liberation, which I was particularly proud of, and the continuation of our original Doctor Who series. Now, I'm going to go into depth about the timeline of the animated series at some point down the line, but then I'll save that for the new year. I mean, we're going to do a lot of stuff in the new year, which I think you guys are going to enjoy. Anyway, moving on to animated projects, we've got a lot of stuff planned, and I think we should start off with Batman the series, or as we're calling it now, Batman Liberation. Okay, so of course we're going to start off with our Batman series, and I've got a lot of stuff to talk about here. So I am happy to announce the second season of Batman Liberation will be coming out at some point next year. I haven't decided on any release dates at all for any of the animated stuff, but I will hopefully give you some indication within the new year, as there's going to be a lot of stuff released. So, Season 2 is going to pick up over a year after the events of Season 1. Tim Drake will be introduced, and the mystery of the Season 1 finale will be explored here. And also, I'm going to be exploring some really cool storylines as well. I'm also excited to reveal the lineup of villains we have and that we're going to be using for the new season. Returning villains from Liberation Season 1 include Oswald Cobblepot, the Penguin, Deadshot and Deathstroke, who will have an episode all to himself where he faces off against Batman, which is something I'm really looking forward to animating. And we've got some really cool Season 2 villains. We're going to be introducing Black Mask, the Mad Hatter, Firefly, and I'll reveal the final one in a minute. We're also going to be introducing Killer Croc, the Joker will be returning, and as I mentioned, we're going to be exploring the mystery of the Season 1 finale, which I'm looking forward to. And last but not least, Jason Todd will be a villain, and I think you all know what that means. We're going to be incorporating the Red Hood storyline into the new season. And then I'm guessing a lot of you are probably going to wonder about the Titans episode we did in the previous season. Now, I originally intended for that episode to act as a backdoor pilot if I ever wanted to do some kind of Titans spin-off. I am considering doing a spin-off mainly focused on Nightwing at the moment, but if I feel up to it, I may actually end up doing maybe a full season focused on the Teen Titans, although I'm not really too sure yet.
No one goes up against the Black Mask and lives.
I'd hoped for more of a fight.
Oh, frabjous day, Kaloo.
I don't care who you are. You're dying, just the same.
Deadshot always hits his target.
Tick-tock, feed the clock.
Do it! Him or me? Decide!
Okay, the next thing we're going to talk about animation-wise is our Doctor Who series, and while we feel we're not in a good position right now to do another series, in place of that, we will be doing a longer feature-based animation that will take inspiration from the cancelled 30th anniversary special, The Dark Dimension, and here is an exclusive teaser for it. So, yes, we're going to be focusing on the Dark Dimension as a Doctor Who feature-based thing. Now, in terms of how accurate it's going to be to the very little slithers of information we have about the cancelled special, I'm going to be taking a lot from that and another version of the Dark Dimension as well. A lot of people probably don't know this, but a YouTube channel by the name of Season 26B actually made their own version of the Dark Dimension, and that will be another source of inspiration for this feature, and we're really excited to be working on that, and yeah, we're just really excited to be doing more Doctor Who content, and you can probably tell from the poster behind me that we're going to have multiple Doctors in this special. But not only are we going to have the 10th and 9th Doctors show up, the 11th Doctor, Matt Smith, will of course show up, and for obviously we can't get the actual actors because they're busy with other stuff. But yeah, we're really excited to be bringing Dark Dimension into our Doctor Who universe, and yeah, we're just really excited. Okay, I hope you guys certainly enjoyed that, and next up we'll be talking about one of our original projects, Black Mamba. So as you know, during lockdown we released Black Mamba, a dark and violent story about a man searching for answers about his father. And there are actually two versions we released. The first was the original, which was at the start of lockdown, and then the second being the extended cut, edited of course by Amzo, our talented editor. Now, we are proud to announce an actual sequel to Black Mamba, and it's in the early stages of development. While we haven't started animating or writing it yet, I would love to show you the new logo. And I will just talk about some plot stuff first, because I want to talk about that first. So, Black Mamba 2 picks up 2 months after the events of the extended cut, with our lead protagonist now working among the ranks of the underworld, but after someone close to him gets injured, he then turns on them and fights back. Now, I'm excited to return to the whole world of Black Mamba because it was a passion project I wanted to do for a little bit, and yeah. And also, Black Mamba is actually the heist reboot, sort of. So, yeah. Anyway, here's an exclusive teaser. So, before we close off the special and say goodbye, I wanted to show you something that I recently finished work on, and it's a short Star Wars animated film about Obi-Wan Kenobi and Darth Maul, two beloved characters from the prequels and basically the entire Star Wars story. Now, of course, Darth Maul is a really popular character thanks to the Clone Wars, and I wanted to do an animation about Obi-Wan versus Darth Maul because I had the idea for it after watching their fight in Star Wars Rebels, and I thought the fight could have been a bit better. So here is our version of how it should have gone down. Now, I would like to see Ray Park play Darth Maul again in the Kenobi series that's coming out, but we will address that in the future video. And unfortunately, guys, that concludes our New Year's special. Please don't be disappointed in any shape or form, because we're going to be churning out loads of content within the next year. And of course, we're going to be taking breaks now and then because Amzo and myself are busy with other things. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed the New Year's special, and have a great 2021, guys, and I'll see you next year.